Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am your physics teacher and we will study physics. Today we will study unit number 1, lecture number 5, subject physics. Today topic is measuring instrument. Today we will study measuring instruments, different instruments. The instrument used for the measurement of a physical quantity is called measuring instrument. If we use clocks for the measurement of time, then clock is a measuring instrument because we measure with the help of clocks a physical quantity which is time. For length, we use measuring tape. So measuring tape is a physical quantity. For time, we use clocks. So clocks are measuring instrument, and time is a physical quantity. For volume, we use measuring cylinder. So measuring cylinder is a measuring instrument, and volume is a physical quantity. So basically, measuring instruments are the instruments used for the measurement of a physical quantity. Either it is base quantity or derived quantity. The instrument was given the name of a measuring instrument. First one is measuring tape. You can see in the diagram. A tape measuring tape is a flexible ruler used to measure size or distance. So it is used for the measurement of length. So length measuring instrument is called measuring tape. It is made from cloth, plastic, fiberglass, metal strip, but must be flexible. So measuring tape is a length measuring instrument used for the measurement of length. Its least count is 1 millimeter. It is available in different ranges. Meter rod used for the measurement of length, used in lab, used in laboratory during experimentation. Length measuring instrument used in laboratory for measurement of length during experimentation. Least count of meter rod is 1 millimeter. It can measure length up to 100 centimeter. The next device is stopwatch. Stopwatch is a device which is used to measure duration of time, different events. Laboratory instrument used in lab to record short interval of time for different experimentation. A stopwatch is used to measure the time interval of an event. There are two types of stopwatches, mechanical and digital. Digital stopwatch and mechanical stopwatch. Digital stopwatch have more accuracy. Mechanical stopwatch have less accuracy. Digital stopwatch have least count of 0.01 and mechanical is 0.1. So precision of digital stopwatch is more as compared to mechanical stopwatch. How to read digital stopwatch? You can see in the diagram digital stopwatch. It is commonly used in laboratory. It can measure a time interval up to 0.01 second. This represents the least count. Yet the least count of digital stopwatch is 0.01 second. It starts to indicate the time lapsed as the start-stop button is pressed. There is a start button. When you press it, it start measuring duration of time. It start measurement. If you press, there is another knob or star or button. When you press, it stop measurement. It stop measurement. As soon as start stop button is pressed, again it stops and indicate the time interval recorded by it between start and stop of an event. When you it is a single button. Start stop is written on the it. If you press first time, it will start measurement. If you when you press the second time, it stop where it is. So when there is a third button, when you press it, it is ready for the next experiment. So first, when you press the start stop button, it start measurement. When you press again, it stop measurement. And there is another button on which reset is written. When you press this, the reading come to zero. It means that this will be ready for the next experiment. You can you can record time for the new experiment. So it is commonly used in lab with least count 0.01. You can start the measurement, you can stop the measurement, and you can reset it also. Now, the next is how to read an analog or mechanical stopwatch. A mechanical stopwatch can measure a time interval up to zero point 0.1 second, means its least count is 0.1 second. It have a knob. It can also used a start, stop and reset button. Single knob is used to start measurement, to stop measurement and to reset. So, so this is the knob. When you press it once, it start measurement. When you press it second time, it will be stop where it is. And when you press third time, the needles will come back to its original or initial position. So a mechanical stopwatch can measure with an accuracy to zero point 0.1 second. Uh, the knob provide energy to the needles. It can also be used start, stop and reset button. The watch starts when the knob is in the pressed once. When pressed second, when you press it for the second time, it stop. And when you press for the third time, it will come back to its original position and will be ready for the next experiment. So stopwatch is a time is used for the measurement of duration of time. There are two types of stopwatches, mechanical and digital. Digital have least count of 0.01 second, and mechanical stopwatch have least count of 0.1 second. But we give preference to analog to mechanical stopwatch in the lab because it is more accurate as compared to uh, mm, digital stopwatch. Digital stopwatch is more precise. There is difference between precision and accuracy. And in the coming lectures, we will also study precision and accuracy. Now the next topic is vernier caliper, a device used for the measurement of length accurately up to 0.1 millimeter. 0.1 millimeter means 1/10 of a millimeter. 1/10 of a millimeter. In it measures 10 part of a millimeter. 10 part of a millimeter. 10 part, if 1 millimeter is divided into 10 equal parts, the one part of that millimeter is possibly can be measured with the help of vernier caliper. If you divide uh, 1 millimeter into 10 parts, each part is measurable by vernier caliper. Least count means it will give you accurate reading to 0.1 millimeter to 0.1 millimeter. So a device used for the measurement of very small quantity of length, small amount of length, is called vernier caliper. So you can see the diagram of vernier caliper. Now we will go into detail of its different parts. This one is called internal jaws. This is called internal jaws. This is called metric inch button. This one. This is a digital, so we will discuss it also, but we have to study analog. Locking screw. This one is locking screw. Locking screw. It is LCD display. This is LCD display. This is main scale. This one is also main scale in millimeter, and this is main scale in inches. Here it is written inches, millimeter. This is power on off button for LCD display. This will calculate zero error. This is internal jaws. This is called tail of vernier caliper. Tail of vernier caliper. So this is tail of vernier caliper. This is main scale. Here is the vernier scale, but actually not in this type. In digital, it is not given. It is power on off button, zero error setting, internal jaws and external jaws. Internal jaws is used to calculate the internal diameter of an object. For example, if you want to make a bolt, internal diameter can be calculated with the help of internal jaws, and that bolt, the external diameter of that bolt can be calculated with the help of external jaws. So external jaws is used to calculate the external diameter, and for internal diameter we will use internal jaws. Main scale give you the actual reading, and vernier scale bring precision and accuracy in the measurement. And tail of vernier caliper. Tail of vernier caliper is used to calculate the depth of narrow tubes and holes. Depth of narrow tubes and holes. So vernier caliper is a length measuring instrument. If you measure length to 0.1 millimeter, it will give you accurate reading. But more than if you want to measure length less than 0.1 millimeter, its reading will be doubtful, not significant. It will not give you accurate reading. There will be error in the reading then. Now you can see vernier caliper on the screen. This will be in your book. It is labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Here it is written 1. For 1, it is written 1. Outside large jaws, external jaws. External jaws used to measure external diameter or width of an object or diameter of an object. External diameter used to measure external diameter or width. And second number is internal jaws, used to measure internal diameter of an object. Depth, used to measure depth of an object or a hole. Tail of vernier caliper, which I told you earlier. This one, it is used to calculate the depth of narrow tubes and holes. 4 is main scale. 4 is main scale, and it is in millimeter. 5 main scale, and it is in inches. This is also main scale. This is also main scale. This scale is in millimeter, and this scale is in inches. It is up to you which unit of measurement you want to use, inches or millimeter. You can take reading from that scale. Here, this is on number 6 vernier scale. Gives measurement in, or it brings precision and accuracy in the measurement, which I already told you that this scale is vernier scale, and this scale is also vernier scale, and it is movable. It brings precision and accuracy. For inches, this scale, you use this vernier scale. For 5, if you take reading from 5 from the scale, which is in inches, you use vernier scale, which is on 7 number. And the vernier scale on 6 number will be used if you make measurement from the scale, which is in millimeter. On 8, number 8, it is called retainer, used to block movable parts to allow the easy transferring of a measurement. So if you want to make observation or to take observation, there is a screw or retainer or any part which is used that when you taking observation that the parts does not move, the vernier scale does not move, that accurate measurement can be taken. So vernier caliper have different parts: external, internal jaws, external jaws, vernier tail, main scale, vernier scale. Internal jaws is used to measure the internal diameter. External jaws is used to measure external diameter. Tail is used to calculate the depth of narrow tubes and holes. Main scale give you the actual reading, and vernier scale bring precision and accuracy in the measurement. Now, the next is least count. The smallest value that can be measured by a measuring instrument is called its least count. The minimum accurate measurement, that can be measured by an instrument is called least count. For example, with meter rod, we can measure 1 millimeter. We can measure 1 millimeter with meter rod. With measuring tape, same. We use 1 millimeter. So least count is 1 millimeter. For vernier caliper, we can measure length accurately to 0.1 millimeter. 0.1 millimeter to 0.1 millimeter. So the least count will be 0.1 millimeter. On main scale and on vernier scale, if you take one division of main scale and you take one division of vernier scale, its length will be different. 1 millimeter on main scale, one division on main scale will be 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter, one division on main scale will be 1 millimeter, and one division on vernier scale will be 0.9 millimeter. 0.9 millimeter. Measured value are good only up to this value. As you know, the smallest reading which can be accurately measured with Vernier caliper is called its least count. It is also known as Vernier constant. It is the difference between one main scale division, which I told you that one division on main scale is 1 millimeter and one division on Vernier scale is 0.9 millimeter. So if you write 1 minus 0.9, the difference is difference is 0.1 millimeter. Difference is 0.1 millimeter. So one Vernier scale division and one main scale division are different. One main scale division is 1 millimeter and one Vernier scale division is 0.9 millimeter, and the difference is called least count. Difference is called the least count. You can see on the screen, this is one main scale division, this is one main scale division, this is one Vernier scale division. The difference is 0.9, 0.1 millimeter. So the difference between one main scale division and one Vernier scale division is called least count. This is another methodology to calculate the least count of Vernier caliper. You will first write the definition and then you will write the formula and then you will write the values. Least count is equal to, basically we divide one main scale division by number of Vernier scale division. The smallest digit on the main scale divided by the total number on the Vernier scale is called least count of Vernier caliper. It is denoted by LC. Mathematically we can write LC is equal to 1 millimeter divided by 10, 0.1 millimeter or 0.01 centimeter. This is called pitch of Vernier caliper. Pitch of Vernier caliper. Pitch of Vernier caliper is the distance between two smaller lines on main scale. So pitch of Vernier caliper is the length of one division. So one division is 1 millimeter. One division is 1 millimeter. So pitch of Vernier caliper is 1 millimeter. So when pitch is divided by number of Vernier scale division, on Vernier scale the number of division is 10. The number of division is 10. Number of division is 10. So when pitch of Vernier caliper is divided by number of Vernier scale division, you will get the least count. You will get the least count. So least count is the minimum accurate length which is possibly measured by an instrument. If you measure length smaller than the least count, then there will be no precision and accuracy in your measurement. So basically least count give you the information how precise your measurement and reading will be. So Vernier caliper is a length measuring instrument used for the measurement of diameter of very small objects. Its least count can be defined as the minimum possible measurement that an instrument can measure is called least count. Least count can be obtained by dividing pitch of Vernier caliper by the number of Vernier scale division. Now zero error. When the jaws of vernier calipers are brought into contact with the jaws of when the jaws of vernier caliper are brought into contact, the zero of the vernier caliper coincides with the zero of the main scale. Otherwise, the instrument have a zero error. For example, if you look to this diagram, if if you look to this diagram, this zero, and the this main scale zero on this scale. For example, look at this diagram. You will see it again. If this zero and this zero are in front of each other, then there is no error. Zero error will be zero. This is main scale, and this one is the vernier scale. If the main scale and vernier scales consider zero, for example, look at here. These zeros are, if this zero and this zero coincides with each other, this one zero coincides with each other, then the zero error is zero. Otherwise, there will be an error in the measuring instrument. Error can be divided into two types, positive and negative error. First, we will study negative or zero error. You can see in the diagram, this zero is called vernier scale zero, and this zero is called main scale zero. They are not in front of each other. There is the difference. So main scale zero and vernier scale zero are not in front of each other. So there is error. There is a error called zero error, and is this zero is to left of the main scale zero, is towards the left of main scale zero, so it is called negative error, and it will measure length less than the actual length. So first you will look at these lines. You will see the line which is in front of each other. For example, this one is just in front of each other. You will calculate the number of that line. It is number 8. So here you will write calculation of negative error. The number of the number of line, you will write the number of line which is in front of the line in main scale. It is number 8. So the difference is total division minus coinciding division. The total number of lines on vernier scale is 10, and on main scale the number of the numbers coinciding is number 8. The number coinciding is 8. So the difference is 2. The difference will be multiplied with the least count, and when the difference is multiplied with least count, you will get 0.02, and it is the negative error. It is the negative error, as 0 is to the left. So when 0 is to the left, the error will be, it will measure lesser. So the error will be negative. And when 0 of vernier scale is to the right, it will measure more. It will measure more. So the error will be positive. So here the minus sign indicates that the negative error in vernier scale. Negative error must be added as it measure less than the original length. Now positive error, in this diagram, if you look to the zero is to the right. So the error will be positive, and it will measure more than its original length. So you will see the line which is in line with the line on the vernier scale. You will look at the lines on the vernier scale and will note that line which is in front of the line on vernier on main scale, and you will record that line. It is 3. If you look to the third line, it is in front of each other. So you will record that number. That number will be multiplied with least count. When it is multiplied with least count, you will calculate the zero error, and the zero error will be added. Zero error will be added. Means this zero error is positive, and you will add. You will write plus. From add here, I mean that you will write plus. Zero error is positive because it measure more than its original length. So you will write plus sign. And the first two error must be subtracted. If the zero of the vernier scale is to the right of the zero of the main scale, then the error is positive. Since the error is positive, the zero error correction will be negative. It means that you will subtract the positive error. When the error is positive, you will you will calculate the error and will subtract the error. And when the error is negative, you will calculate the error and it will be added. Thank you, students. Today we studied measuring instrument, measuring tape, meter rod, vernier caliper, construction of vernier caliper, zero error, and least count of vernier caliper. Do revise.